We ain't taking no L's. No, 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 no. Saints breaking out of sales. Go, 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 go. The battle's been won. He said it's on. So we ain't taking no.
All right, guys. Hey, Paul McClain here. Welcome back to the Monday Morning Mindset Podcast. I hope this podcast has served you and served you well. My goal every single week is to provide great value. A lot of times it's me sitting back thinking like, who can I have on that's going to bring great value to you? And when I saw this individual, it was in Tampa Bay, Florida. It was after this event. We had lock-in. I got to walk in. I was getting ready to go up and speak. And I heard Collin talking about his sales journey, the process, where he's at now, the psychology behind the sale. And I was like, man, I remember, nudging Jake. I was like, this guy is good, man. Like, he's locked in. He understands it. Like, you could just tell that he gets the client agent relationship, the dynamic of it. And in my mind, initially, I thought like, this guy kind of was birthed out of the womb to be a top producer. And then I start asking questions. Colin's like, man, I didn't sell nothing for my first 90 days. I was like, bro, you're lying. He's like, I'm dead serious. I was like, well, we got to get you on to unpack this. And so today, guys, we're going to really unpack process. What does it look like to get to a place where you have that breakthrough? I believe that everybody's got a gap where they're at and where they're looking to go. A lot of times we give up in the middle ground, and Collin pushed through, and now he's seeing great success. So Collin, let me just first welcome you to the podcast. Man, it's so great to have you on, brother.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Well, let's jump right into it, man. I want to make this as jam-packed in 20 minutes as we possibly can for everybody that's watching this today. Talk about, your start. So you started out in this business. I'm assuming, like most, you thought this would be an environment, a vehicle that could get you to your goals, your financial freedom, but you didn't see that. Your expectation wasn't met with what you experienced day one. Talk about that, and kind of how did you, stay consistent, not get so disappointed to give up in that 90-day journey before you had your first sale and your first breakthrough?
So for me, like, I came from a previous sales job. I was doing door-to-door pest control. And like, one thing that was always said was, if you can sell pest control, you can sell anything. Right. And if I could have people in New Jersey cussing you out and it's hot, humid, sticking to you, like the heat just sticks to you, then any other job would be easy. So yeah, for me, like that was ultimately like the biggest thing, was just like, if I could do something where I had to go door to door, then I could truly do anything.
Okay. Well, I love you say that. So you did door to door, came in with this thought that like, well, heck, if I was doing that, selling pest control,
and this is going to be easy,
I could sell, but it wasn't. Days without a sale is not easy.
Yeah.
How did you like stay consistent and persistent through that process? Because, dude, I believe the gap between where you're at and where you want to go, the longer it takes to cross that gap, that's where disappointment is bred. Kind of like when you're doing what you need to be doing, but you don't see progress, that's disappointing. What did you do to keep moving? Because I feel like that, be clear, somebody on here, you're seeing success. You're writing 20,000 a month, but your goal is 40. So you've got a gap between 20 and 40. The gap between the time that elapses in that gap, disappointment gets birthed. Maybe you've got a gap of, I want to go out and get a team doing 100,000 a month. I want to get a team doing 500,000 a month. I want to make 7 figures. Whatever the gap is, like, you've got a current gap, Collin, right? You've got a goal. You got where you're at. And you want to cross it. The disciplines, the perspective that you have crossing one gap is usually going to be the one that crosses, and you'll use to cross another gap. And a lot of times somebody that's jumping from one career to the next, or one IMO to the next, they're thinking that the gap that they've got is out of their control, as far as, I didn't get there because XYZ. No. You didn't get there because you didn't
blame the externals.
So talk about that, man. How did you navigate that?
So for me, like, it was very simple. I knew that if I showed up day in, day out, like, I had the exact same schedule. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. At that time, I was living in California, right? So that meant it was already 8 o'clock here, like in Eastern time. So I would go to the gym for a little bit and just have that same schedule of, then I would start dialing by 6:15. and I would dial till lunch from 6:15 to 12:15, take a 15-minute lunch. And like for me, like I ate the same exact thing every single day. Like I still eat the same thing every day.
What do you eat, bro?
In the morning, it's normally bananas, some eggs, and like a bagel to get the bagel out of the way. And then for lunch, a little sandwich, or sometimes I'll just do like hummus with some like chips. And then dinner is whatever my fiance makes.
Let's go. So
But
your regiment, so your routine was the same.
yeah,
So when you were struggling, did you ever kind of start lowering your expectation to what your experience was, or did you keep your expectation that of like it's going to eventually work? If I just
yeah,
keep doing what I'm doing, it's going to eventually work.
yeah. And like I call it like unwaverably like delusional. Like I
What
was
is
in
it?
La La Land, like looking, and still to this day I look up to Caleb Combs. But I was like, I'm gonna be like on stage that next year. Like I'm gonna be doing that and giving everyone advice on how to do that. I don't know what it's gonna take. I don't know what I'll have to do. I just know. And like it's almost like going to the gym, right? You don't see the results your first week of going, but constantly feeding yourself the right things, putting the right things into your body, and doing the hard things, you'll see the results right after. No, yeah, like, well, not
So
right after. Let
yeah,
me
it's going to
say,
show up
but
eventually if you just don't get worried and doing well.
yeah,
Colin, I think you're uncovering probably one of the biggest tips when it comes to mindset. The mindset that I'm hearing from you is that you had this belief that there was no shadow of a doubt that you were going to succeed. And therefore, if that's the case, then even when there's no progress that's taken place, you're just looking at it as a sign of like, this has to happen. And I'm glad this is happening because this is just evidence to the fact that most people give up. But if I continue to press forward and not get worried and doing well, if I continue to trust the process, I'm going to get to the result that I eventually want. And I think
yeah,
that's the first ticket and it's a sign, it's a thought process of commitment, which is like, it's going to work out. I'm going to be successful. Even though I don't see it now, I'm 100% certain I'm going to see it, meaning that the longer it takes, the better the story.
yeah. And
Your
like
story's
one thing,
better.
like one quote that I had that I would see every day was it's from Alex Hermosi. It says, if you're willing to suck at anything for 100 days in a row, you can beat most people at most things.
I love that. Well, you're a testament that you sucked for 90 something days. And now
97.
97 days. Okay. So you almost made it to the 100-day mark
Yeah.
and you just pushed through it. And so let that be an encouragement for everybody on here. And that's not just a new start. Maybe you've been succeeding, but the next 100 days of sucking is in recruiting. Or you've been recruiting, but you've been sucking with getting somebody started and writing 20K that's on your team. Or are you willing to suck at that for 100 days without you finally saying, I'm going to give it up? Because the truth is, think about that. And I love the 97 days because it just really kind of provides validation to that thought of like you're closest to that breakthrough when you seem so far away. Like the 97 days, you were probably more discouraged on day 97 than you were on day 3 of not getting the result. But you were so close to the breakthrough when it had been such a delay from you actually having it. And so you're close, you're 3 feet from gold. You know, don't give up, keep pushing through. Was there any other kind of disciplines or things that you did mentally that you believe kind of helped you continue to push forward in that
Yeah.
that 97-day process?
Yeah. So, I mean, like starting the day, I would always do like my morning walk as well. Like kind of just like today is going to be the day, right? Like I'm going to figure this out. But the biggest and like, I would say the most helpful thing is what I would do before I went to bed. Cause I'm a firm believer, like the thoughts you think before you go to bed are how the next day is going to turn out. And I would watch a training video every single night and it would stay on the TV. And I would like have like these weird, like subconscious dreams as I was asleep of just like where I can implement that, how I can change, like where I can kind of implement my roadmap and whatnot. And I would literally like go to bed dreaming about it and wake up excited.
I love that. And so, like, your reticular activating system was getting programmed towards success. And I think this
Yeah.
is a big point for everybody on here is that when you go to bed at night, yes, when you first wake up in the morning, also. And then if you could also put little things in viewpoint where your eyes can see it, let that be the reminder throughout the day that you're going to have success, right? Like, this is what's going to happen. You're telling yourself the right story because we live in the story we tell ourselves, you know? And it's like, I think about the Falcons and Patriots. I don't know if you remember that Super Bowl that was, you know, years and years and years ago, but the Falcons were like up significantly. It was like 24 points, more than any team had ever
Hey,
won.
let's go Dodgers World Series.
Okay.
This last World Series, I like that one better.
Okay, let's do it, man. But like, you know, it was like the story was the team that was losing was so like the Patriots or you know, whoever you're like you get to this place where you're like, I just don't think there's going to be a comeback. And then the fans are watching this thinking like, oh my God, my team just lost. But if you're watching the recording of that, and I told you before that you watched it, like, dude, the Patriots win. Now the whole time you're not like depressed, like, oh my God, this is so tough. This is
Takes
terrible.
the fun out of it.
Takes a fun.
Takes the thrill out.
They're not going to, you know, you're depressed the whole time. But if you knew they were going to win, now the whole time you're like, dude, this is going to be an unbelievable comeback. Like, you're like fired up and excited. You almost want them to get down further because it makes the comeback that much better. And I love what you're talking about because as you do that, you're starting to program your mind in such a way that says, there's no doubt there's going to be a comeback. There's no doubt that I'm going to win. It's just going to be that much more exciting when I do win. And I absolutely love that by doing those things and keeping that in front of you. What were some of your whys? I would you know venture to believe that, Collin, you had a pretty strong why day one that you held on to weather those 97 days. Because I believe that's what really kind of keeps you driven, excited, moving is a big why. What was your why getting started in the business?
I wish I had some tissues here. For me, like my why is definitely my mom. She's worked her butt off to get me to a place where I'm at as a single parent, not like no child support, nothing. And that like the father figure that was completely absent. And she spent like was doing 3-4 jobs raising me and my little sister, also while living with my grandma. Right. So I mean those two people there, like they sacrificed everything to not only make sure that I had clean clothes, but that I had new clothes, and just worked her butt off. And so like retiring my mom is my main why.
I love that. Have you, now that you're, because right now you're issue paying, like what are you going to end 2020, you know, 5 with in personal?
About 550.
550,000. Have you been able to do some of those? Why? Like as far as helping your mom?
With my grandma, I kind of talked about it, but I've been able to take care of her. She doesn't have to pay on like her mortgage. She has trips paid for, like when she wants to go. But my mom ultimately wants me to give that to her first because I mean she's my grandma. But yeah.
So you've seen the fruit of putting the hard work in, being disciplined, going after, not giving up. You're starting to see the evidence of that by helping out your grandma, and then the goal is to retire your mom.
Yep.
I love that, man. Absolutely love that. Do you have what's your time frame? When do you think you'll be able to actually get to a place where you can retire your mom? Do you have any?
So I've actually been talking with her, especially like her mortgage rate that she has is like low, like super low. So her mortgage payments are pretty good now, like pretty big. But I was talking to her about like June of next year, was just starting there by pitching in and just taking care of the mortgage.
I love that, man. Well, I think this is a great time for me to say, hey, anybody that's on here, if you want to have the right mindset, you got to have it set at the right why. Like you got to be thinking about the payoff, because if the payoff's so great, Collin, then the pain in the process doesn't seem to really affect you that much.
It's irrelevant.
It's
Yeah.
irrelevant. But if the why is so low, then the pain seems to just pulsate and be something that just consumes your mindset. And if your mindset is consumed with pain and survival and lack, and hopefully this will work,
You're in lack. Exactly.
you can't create. You can't become aware of things that are holding you back, things to tweak, adjust. You're in a scarcity mindset. You're not thinking about what do I need to do differently to grow and develop. You're just hoping to survive. And that never leads you to actually thriving, which now you're thriving. You're doing 550,000 a year. That's a big, big, big deal. As we wrap up, man, I'd love to have you talk about the mindset of helping families, of serving clients. There's no question you've got a great mindset on that because of the results that we're looking at. What's your mindset helping a client? Maybe give some scenarios or some context too that would help people see your mindset when it comes to dealing with families and clients that you're serving.
So I think to kind of piggyback off the scarcity mindset, I was in debt. Like I had negative $3,000 to my name. I just had a motorcycle accident, wasn't able to work. And that was where I was stressing. Like I was putting the profit over the people. And on that very, like the first sale, I still remember their name, Rodney and Kathleen Wachtel. They were like, hey, like, just know, like, you truly saved our family. If we didn't have this set up, we would have been homeless. Like we would have had to sell our RV. We would have had to sell our house, our lake house, and we don't know what we would have done. So if you ever need a warm place to like lay your head, a warm cooked meal, or even just someone to talk to, like by all means, you have family here in Idaho. And that was my very first sale. And that allowed me to see not only the impact it had, like can have on a family, but it just became the most addicting thing there is, was getting that out of every phone call. And so it's just like really taking a step back, like that's someone's mom, that's someone's daughter, right? That's who someone looks up to. And like one thing I've kind of done is just pretending like it's someone on the other end that I know around that age. And it not only like takes like the who's this person, but it allows you to be yourself with them. But yeah, ultimately just like I'd do this job if it offered a pretty darn like low salary, right? But considering that we're able to get paid pretty well to, provide that satisfaction for families and get paid pretty good to do it, like, why wouldn't you take that opportunity?
Man, it's so powerful. So simple, but so powerful. Like that one shift that somebody can have could change their whole trajectory and how much revenue they bring in from selling. Because a lot of times if you're focused on the sell and you making money, you're not able to take the lens off yourself and put on the client long enough to really serve them and let them know that you do truly care about them. And I love that. Like really just imagine when you're calling that family, what if this was your aunt? What if this was your mom? What if this was your sister? The age demographic, and kind of in your mind almost playing that narrative of like, well, then how would I approach it? Would it be about a sell? No, I actually have a heart for this. I know this person. Why don't you treat that lead the same way? And you're going to better be able to serve them if you do so. And so I absolutely love that. That's one thing that people can do today is before you step onto the phones, take a 1 minute pause and put yourself in their shoes. This is a family. What if they don't come home tonight? What if Bob, and you tell yourself a story. You're looking at two names, you're looking at a date of birth. Like, what if they don't come home and that income's gone? And now their kids don't have the ability to survive. So mom's got to go get two jobs because dad's gone. And now because mom's got two jobs, mom's not present and she can't make the same amount of money because she didn't have the same job experience. Now they got to lose their home. They're going to be in an apartment. And now poverty starts to be the generational curse. And all that needed to do to save that was you caring enough about that person to serve them. I love that, man. That's such a powerful thing. And I know it's not a tactic. It's not, this is a word track that I use or say. That's the foundation.
It's the mind. And if you have solid intentions with every single phone call, I mean, it's eventually going to just like a pyramid, right? It's going to just be a solid foundation, right? But if all you were in it for was a quick way to make few $100, few $1,000, then it's going to crumble.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, dude, as we wrap up, I want to just spotlight a couple things because my goal is to give really practical handles that people can leave and develop a higher mindset so they can therefore see the results they want. I mean, 80% of this business is mindset, 20% is mechanics, right? But you started with, believing without a shadow of a doubt that you would win and succeed. And so for everybody on here, do that checkup. Like, do you really believe that you're going to succeed here to your core, regardless of the result, regardless of what season or whatever outcome you're looking at? Do you really believe that you're going to win first and foremost? The second thing is, do you have a why that's going to be able to be something you could hold on to, that's going to give you the energy, the passion, the zeal to make the right sacrifices, to endure the pain long enough before the payoff starts to show up? Do you have a strong why? Because you do have a why, but if you're not thinking about it or focused on it, it won't carry any of the weight that it's intended to carry to get you through that. And then the next thing is like really having the mindset set on the client, not just being a lead, but this is a family. How can I make this family real for me? That's going to pull my emotion, that's going to pull my heart, my mind to them, to treat them in such a way that shows that they're cared for. Because people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. They don't care about your knowing. They don't care about your competency. They want to know, do you care? Do I like and trust you? Collin, what I get from you in our conversation is that you're a person that truly does care about your family, and you truly do care about the families you're serving, and you know that those are closely linked together. The more clients and families you can serve, the better you can serve your family. And so your heart is to serve people. And I think that's the deal. It's people over profit. And so, dude, I just want to thank you. I know we've got a slam schedule. You've got a full day full of appointments. And so, guys, I hope this served you.
Mind if I add one thing too?
Yeah, absolutely. Love for you to.
Like the easiest way, like I kind of told myself when I was struggling through it, like if I told my 8-year-old self that I had an opportunity to, change my life and the people who were closest to me, I would do anything and everything I could to become better and better. Right. And if you're told at 8 years old, you have an opportunity to help people, but also make enough to do so, you would do everything in your power to not only like just barely scrape by, but be the best or try to become the best. Right. And then if you told your 80-year-old self, right, that I had this opportunity and I just barely scraped by, like, how would that make you feel? And just go with it like you have that 8-year-old delusion of, I'm going to figure this out. And it'll be easy.
I love that, man. I mean, what a high level emotion to have that pulls you towards greatness is gratitude. I mean, the gratitude you've got for where you're at, the position you hold on to. For me, dude, if I'm predicting what you're going to do, it's just the beginning, bro. You're going to crush this thing because your gratitude is still at such a high level and you're seeing great results already. To me, I would choose that over anything as somebody that's got great appreciation for the fact that they've got a shot, because a lot of people don't, because they weren't exposed to this opportunity, and they maybe are never exposed to this opportunity because it just doesn't work out for them. They don't have a person that introduces them to it. But you did. You watching this today, you are introduced to this unbelievable opportunity. Don't let a lack of appreciation or gratitude for the shot you've got cause you to actually do the things necessary and perform in such a way that actually allows the ball to go into the net. And so I love this, man. So good. Collin, thank you for joining the Monday Morning Mindset podcast today. What a blessing it was to have you on, bro. Guys, let's go out there and make it a massive week. We're coming right off of Thanksgiving. And so Thanksgiving shouldn't be just a one day of the year thing. I think sometimes different, whether that's time periods or environments or events will kind of remind us of certain things that we should probably be doing daily. Thanksgiving's a one day thing, but it's a thing that if we do it daily, it'll lead us to go out there and create a lot more things to be thankful and grateful for. We must start there, not wait for for certain environments or circumstances or situations to change for us to be grateful. No, we start with gratitude, and we're grateful for what we have. And I'm grateful for you joining today, guys. So
thank you. It's a great day to be a Monday.
That's right. Let's go. Hey, be great today. Be strong, stay steadfast, guys, and we'll talk to you next week. God bless you guys.
God bless.